right.
All right, I'd like to open up the Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. If everyone would please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Next on the agenda is the Kinkelman, did I say that right? Donation to the police department?
Good evening. My name is Frank Ashby, and this is Tara Nagatani, plant manager at Kinkelman Foods, and I'm the operations supervisor. Kinkelman Foods is a food manufacturer that was established in the United States over 50 years ago. Just over 2 years ago, Kinkelman Foods was fortunate to begin production in the city of Warrenton, Missouri. With 3 plants operating in the U.S. and a 4th under construction, we strive to not only provide top quality products to our consumers, but to also contribute to the communities in which we produce those products. Kinkelman is proud to be a part of the city of Warrenton and is always exploring ways in which our presence will benefit the community. As part of our global vision to become a company whose presence in global society is ever more meaningful, we aim to contribute to a variety of fields that helps us to accomplish this. We know that the law enforcement of Warrenton works diligently to serve and protect its citizens and the community as a whole. We understand that there are many sacrifices that come with this commitment and the lives that are changed by the efforts of all who've chosen to give of themselves in this field. As a token of our gratitude and in recognition of the men and women who serve Warrenton on the Warrenton Police Force, Kinkelman Foods would like to present a contribution of $10,000 to Chief Larry Ellard to benefit the Warrenton City Police Department. We look to achieve sustainable future here in a city for all seasons, a city moving forward. Thank you to the Warrenton City Police.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Want us all down there?
For the police department, it's not for the board.
For the police department. Come on, sure.
Right.
Chief has a moment.
Thanks, guys. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, introduction of new employees. And I will turn this over to the staff.
The police department would like to introduce Austin Dalton and Kayla Fells.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public Works would like to introduce Ryan Nelson, the Public Works
Welcome, Ryan.
Department.
Welcome, Ryan.
And Robert Ingram will be at the next meeting. He had a conflict with tonight's meeting.
Okay.
Consent agenda.
We have the regular meeting minutes from September 17th, 2024.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Alderman Roadmaker. Second by Alderman Lang. Roll call vote.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder is absent. Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Roadmaker?
Yes.
Passes. Next on here is public comments. If anyone has anything they'd like to come up and inform us about, please come up to the podium, state your name, and we will give you 5 minutes. Just be aware that this is not a question and answer time.
Hello, my name is Justin Roberts. I live at 21503 Leo Lane, Warrenton, Missouri. As an aggravated landowner who has not notified of annexation of property adjacent to my land, I am deeply concerned about the manner of which this process was conducted, as well as its potential to impact my family's quality of life. While I understand that the City of Warrenton may have followed the minimum statutory requirements of publishing a notice in the newspaper, the failure to provide direct notice to adjacent property owners such as myself and my neighbor undermines the spirit of transparency of fairness Missouri law, particularly 71.012. Emphasizes the importance to the public hearing and due notice, but relying solely on newspaper publication is a matter that directly affects neighboring landowners does not seem adequate, especially when we had no knowledge of proceeding until after the fact. Furthermore, the nature of the annexed property is deeply troubling. While the annexation may or may not be legal under the state law due to continuous connection to the city via narrow roadway, the fact that the land touches unincorporated property on three sides, including mine, raises questions about whether the narrow connection genuinely serves the interests of the community. The land is surrounded by properties not within the city. Seems more appropriate for remaining unincorporated, as it does not integrate naturally into the city's existing infrastructure. Additionally, the subsequent reflection of the annexed property as industrial, while any further notice to my surrounding landowners, exhibits concerns about the purpose of the annexation. The fact that the land has been reclassified as industrial raises significant concerns for my family, as it appears that the property may be used for industrial farming operations, including potentially harmful activities to other small farmers in the area. Industrial farming would negatively impact my family's health, safety, enjoyment of our property. My children regularly play in our backyard, and the prospect of having an industrial operation or any large-scale agriculture operation directly adjacent to my home is alarming. Missouri law, particularly zoning and land use regulation, is designed to protect residential areas from incompatible uses, and it's hard to imagine a more incompatible use than right next to your family residence. Given these serious concerns, I believe that the annexation and the subsequent rezoning should be revisited. The land should be de-annexed, and the City of Warrenton should be held accountable for failing to provide adequate notice to the neighboring landowners. The potential harm to my property value, my family's well-being, and the overall character of the areas requires immediate action to prevent industrial farming or other industrial uses from being imposed on what should remain a peaceful residential small farm environment. I respectfully request that the annexation and zoning decision be reconsidered and the neighboring property owners be given a fair opportunity to participate in any further decisions. I have printed out maps showing where it does not adjoin the city except for by the service road, and that's the only thing adjoining it. Our property is about a mile off the service road, so for the police to get back there as a city police would be very hard and difficult. Right now it's in farming, and I know there's a hunting lease on it, so they hunt on the property, and discharging a firearm in the city limits is a concern too. If I could, can I hand you guys these?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
And that is my concerns. Like I say, it does not really adjoin the city except for by a small roadway, which is the service road. I've put in there section 71012 so you can read it and decide for yourself. That is my concerns, and that'll be it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Would I be speaking about, would you like them now?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
My name is Cheryl Roberts. I live at 21347 Leo Lane. Our property was purchased in 1971 by my parents as agriculture property. Now, without any notice from landowner, city, or county officials, only finding out about 2 weeks ago, we find that the Heath property bordering on two sides has been annexed into the city and that the zoning changed to light industrial. I have made numerous phone calls, some of which were never returned, to find out any information on how to change this, how this change occurred. Supposedly, letters were sent out to surrounding people bordering the Heath property, indicating the proposed changes he was attempting to make. However, we never received such a letter, and in talking to some later, neighbors have found at least 6 people that border the property that did not receive a letter either. But he sent 2 to himself, I guess as a reminder of what he was doing. We were not even on the list he was sending letters to. I would find it very odd that the postal system lost that many letters. We are a working farm with animals and crops, so now I worry about hazards and safety to my animals and property for whatever industry that goes in there. Also, we have children that now will not be able to go out and enjoy the farm without constant worry of industrial vehicles and strangers around. I understand there's supposed to be restrictions on light industrial property. However, will those be enforced? So far, it doesn't appear that the regulations are being followed with the rezoning. So who is going to enforce the regulations? It doesn't appear that any board member from planning, zoning, or city council even took time to research who were neighbors, physically go and look at the properties to see what issues could affect those people. I thought it was your jobs to protect the citizens of the city and the county, not just look at a piece of paper with description of property, which probably doesn't mean much to you as it would as actually seeing it in person. Since the Heath property is now a city, it is my understanding ATVs are not allowed to be ridden, yet just yesterday we hear bikes on the property. As you can see by my photos submitted, it could possibly be whatever industry right next to the front yard of one home and very close to our fishing pond and the front of the second home. So another concern is people wandering over and getting to the lake. So what kind of privacy fencing will be put up by the industries to protect us? There are numerous utility right-of-ways on the south side of the road, including the ammonia pipeline, which I was told Mr. Heath did not want to be bothered opening his gate on the service road to allow access to the locate people. He sent them down Leo Lane. My time is just as valuable as his and my privacy. And yes, I understand they have the right and a job to do to protect access to those lines. I have no issue with their jobs, but do me feel Mr. Heath wants everything done to suit himself, not much of a good neighbor. Leo Lane is a narrow private gravel road not suitable for traffic. It is access to our 2 homes. On Friday night, June 23rd of '23, Mr. Heath had the levee cut on his property, approximately a 10-acre lake, which in turn flooded the adjoining creek properties and made the road completely impassable until late next morning, causing damage to roadway. He said he had permission, but yet it was done at night. Not even a neighborly heads up. There could have possibly been animals or people even in the creek at those times. I had people coming to my home that could not get down the road and called to say in a drought that my road was flooded. What a surprise. Mr. Heath stood in the road with myself and Justin, said he appreciated the country lifestyle and just wanted to be a good neighbor, even shook hands. Apparently he is not a man of his word, which is easily being shown by his actions. I believe this zoning should be turned over and rezoned agriculture on back portion of properties, and front acreage could remain light industrial if indeed it actually meets annex regulations. According to his proposed plan, his only plan is to resell the property, which leaves it open to pretty much anything. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Anyone else from the public?
You got one more, Dan. She's coming.
All right.
I'm Pam Bishop, and I also joined the Heath property. And I know I have a horse farm, and when I bought the farm, had to get a conditional use permit, and I spent a lot of money giving it to the city so they could send out all those letters. I didn't have any choice. But now they're telling me that this was something that they do as a courtesy. Well, when they're asking for my money to send out the letters, it's no courtesy. I had to pay it. We looked at another piece of property that bordered Innsbruck, and there were, I can't even tell you how many little pieces of property bordered that. I spent thousands of dollars that I gave to the city so they could send those letters out. Yet we received no letter for this. It isn't a courtesy when someone's having to put the money out, but it is a courtesy as to who receives the letters, it seems. We weren't told. And I'm not saying we're against it, I'm not saying we're for it, but what I'm saying is we need to be a party to the decisions that are made that border us and that directly affect our farm and our family. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public? All right, then. Next on the agenda, Board of Alderman comments.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the Tribute to Veterans Memorial. Had a very nice ceremony for POW MIA Day. The paper covered it very well. It was well attended, and I would like to see more people come out for that. It was a great event. So
When was that?
it was the last Friday in September, I believe. September 20th.
Very good. Okay.
I stand corrected. And I think the Fall Festival went phenomenally this year. So I was down there, the crowd was huge, and it was a great day. That's it.
It was a good day for a festival. All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, next here, street closure for Hometown Christmas Parade on December 7th, 2024. I will entertain a motion to approve the street closure.
That's the same route as last year.
Yes, it's going to start at Rebecca Boone in Truesdale, and then it's going to come down Main Street
Okay.
and end here, I think, at City Hall.
And at City Hall, yes, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
All right, motion made by Alderman Schultz.
I'll second that.
Second by Alderman Cullum. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Romaker,
Yes.
Alderman Lang.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 with 1 absent. Next on the agenda here, Ms. Brandy Walters, City Administrator.
Good evening. Unfortunately, Megan couldn't make it tonight, so I'm going to give you the financial report. We have revenues. We're continuing to see an increase in sales tax. It's currently $185,000 above budget in general fund, $65,000 in transportation, and $148,000 above budget in interchange fund. The revenues in services is currently above budget at $45,000 due to trash revenue and pool-related transactions. Other revenues are $290,000 above budget due to the sale and the house in Willow Road. We are above budget $67,000 in licensing due to the single and multifamily residential permits. Revenues in water and sewer are above budget by $308,000 year-to-date due to sewer connection fees and industrial sewer, and they're under budget in $956,000 year-to-date due to timing on the grant revenue that hasn't come in yet. On expenses, the pool is under budget at $68,000 due to vacant positions, chemicals, repairs, and maintenance. The street is under budget by $208,000 due to funds budgeted for the traffic study, which is still yet to be spent this year. Vehicle repair and maintenance, and snow removal supplies. Water is under budget by $111,000 due to vacant positions, pump repairs, electric and gas, and fuel expenses. And sewer is under budget by $100,000 due to a position vacancy, pump repairs and consulting and engineering expenses. Do you have any questions?
No questions. Anybody else?
The next thing that I have for you tonight is a budget adjustment. So the stormwater on Veterans Memorial, that project that when we originally bid for that project, we ended up bidding it at, it was total, because it was 2 projects, remember? We did the first half and then we did the second half. So total for the 2 was $1,077,189. When they bid the projects out, it only came in at $768,565. We have since also applied for grants for both of those projects, which they'll reimburse $570,000, which is going to leave approximately $878,000 in those budgeted funds, which seems like extreme, but as I explain it, that's why. So we are asking for a budget adjustment to purchase so when we do the wastewater treatment expansion, they're going to need a new tractor out there for the dry sludge, as well as a loader to load that dry sludge. These are items, the tractor they have is extremely outdated, and they don't have a loader. So those are 2 of the things we would like to spend those funds on, as well as they have some camera repairs for the sewer camera that needs to be done for $15,000, and possibly purchase 1 or 2 vehicles also for the wastewater treatment plant, and then reuse the majority of those remaining funds to do some pipelining, some more of the pipelining. However, I don't want to purchase all of these items. I really just want to do those top few, the camera repairs, the tractor, and possibly a truck right now until we know for sure those grant funds come in. And until those grant funds come in, I don't want to spend that money. But right now we have that extra money in the budget. So the tractor would be for $207,210.60, and then the sewer repair would be for $15,000, and a public works vehicle would be $45,000.
Do you know, Brandy, do you know that what was the tractor put out for bid, or is that just?
So that is actually through a co-op, so we don't have to put those out for bid. We purchase them through the co-op at the lowest price because they already do all the bidding for us.
Is that truck being bought locally, or?
It would be bought locally off the lot. We would go and get bids for that just to make sure, or we would do a state bid.
Any other questions? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjust the budget to stormwater on the Veterans Memorial Project.
Can we do them all as one, John? Or should we do them as 2 separate, budget adjustment and then do the tractor?
I would do them separately just because of the nature of them.
All right, motion for the budget adjustment.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, second by Alderman Cullum. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Passes 5-0, 1 absent. And I'll entertain a motion for the co-op purchase of a tractor for the WWTP.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Romaker, second by Alderman Lang. Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes. Passes 5-0. All right.
The only other thing I have is a reminder that our mutual meeting with Planning and Zoning and the board will be in this room October 22nd at 5 p.m.
That was 5 p.m.
Yes, 5 p.m. And also, we have the loggers representative that'll also be here on October 8th, Tuesday, at 5 p.m. also.
Is that a mandatory meeting for Alderman?
It's not a mandatory meeting. That's just the one where they're going to go over
How it works.
the loggers program.
We understand.
Yeah.
Correct. All right, thank you, Brandy. All right, next up, Aquatics Director, Lisa Kramer.
Good evening. You have in front of you my aquatics report for the month of September. We had 1,949 people come through the doors this month. That is 279 less people than last year. However, we are up 623 people for the year to date now. We sold 23 new memberships, renewed 13, and registered 20 insurance memberships. That's 3 more memberships compared to this time last year. Swim lessons are starting Thursday and next Monday. We have 146 kids signed up for swim lessons, another 4 kids in the pre-competitive swim team, and 4 participants in the junior lifeguard class. Tomorrow is our first tadpole tales for this season. Clifford the big red dog will be there, and we'll be reading about his Halloween. And Saturday we are celebrating the 6th birthday of the Aquatic Center. We will be offering free admission, cake for everybody, and discounted membership prices. And we're still looking to hire somebody for guest services, which is the front desk for afternoons and Saturdays. Questions?
Did you say 6 years?
6 years.
A lot longer. Very good. Any questions for
Does the
Lisa?
Aquatic Center do anything for Halloween, or any special events for Halloween?
We are not doing any special events for Halloween. In fact, since Halloween falls on Thursday, we will be closing at noon so that everybody can trick or treat safely.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Lisa.
Or swim costume.
Next up, Grounds and Maintenance Director, Justin Knoll.
Good evening, Mayor.
Sorry, you
Alderman, or board. You have our monthly report for September. You guys have any questions about that? And kind of some highlights for the month. We had 12 streetlight repairs, some along Main Street and Golden Vickery, and also Warrior Ridge. We had 11 pavilion rentals within the parks. We hosted 4 baseball tournaments with Game 7. We played 101 games throughout the month, and then we also had 53 games with the regular league play with TSN. Crew members assisted with the setup and cleanup for the Fall Festival, which was a pretty good success and great turnout. We just completed the summer banner change out on Main Street and put up the fall banners. It's looking good for the fall season here. Kind of looking forward into the month of October. We'll be completing our fall seeding and fertilizer applications within the city parks. We'll continue working along roadways and utility easements, starting over kind of on our route from South 47, working our way north. We have about 10 trees to remove from Binkley Woods in the city cemetery that we'll be working on. Also, just as a side note for Halloween approaching, if there's any residents and stuff in the area that have street lights out, to be calling those in so we could get those repaired before the...
How long did it take to clean up from the Fall Festival?
I think it would have shut down around 9:30. I think everyone's out of there by about 1 o'clock, 1 a.m.
Okay.
So, 1.5 hours or so.
Very good. Well, they did a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for all your help.
Any other questions for Justin? All right. Public Works Director, Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Board. First time I have my monthly report. We had a water main break on Warren Avenue. They repaired 10 water service. They painted the stripes and crosswalk by Cool Avenue. We had 6 sewer calls, 2 were private, 4 were on the city. Right now we're getting ready to do some pipelining and get ready to start that. We have some point repairs that need to be done. One is on Highway 47 in Lakeview, and the other one is on Lakeview and 4th Street. So there'll be construction work going on there, if not already started. On the pipelining, they'll be working on 4th Street, 2nd Street, Banner, Troy Road, and Banner by Dollar General. So you'll have some work going on there in the next month. The water line on Boone Slick is completed and is on. Dirt work still needs to be completed. Contractor on Veterans Memorial doing some cleanup work and some repairs. for the sidewalk and stormwater. Well 6 electric is working, is on and completed, and we should do a startup. We started it today, it ran, filled the tower. We don't have it in service yet because we don't have the data and the computer set up completely. Still calling for alarms on other things. And then they're going to move from well 9, move to well 9 or well 4. We don't know which one they're going to go to next. Well 9 will be a quicker fix than well 4. Well 4 needs to be gutted and completely started over. Well 9, we're just adding some components to it. So that should be done by the end of the year. Any questions?
Yeah, Guy, what was it says on major projects completed in sewer, place new pump at Field of Dreeks. Was it just like a lift pump? Or?
That's a lift station.
Okay.
And the pump went out, and that was...
I'd say Field of Dreams?
Field of Dreams, that's down there off of, Kodiak Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you hear that our pump budget, and I always ask for money for pumps, that pump was $18,809. So we replaced that, got that out of there and put the new one in.
All I got. Thanks, Guy.
Any other questions?
They finished drilling underneath the railroad tracks, didn't they? Putting the pipe under there?
Oh, yeah, that's completed. That is turned on, charged, and in service.
I thought I seen a new fire hydrant on the other side of that,
Yes,
so.
that is done.
Right.
That was a challenge working with the railroad.
No.
Well, good job, Guy.
Yeah. Well, John helped with a lot of that, but yeah, it's a challenge working with the railroad.
Very good. Any other questions for Guy? No. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guy. Next, City Clerk, Melanie Rue.
I have for you the list of annual records to be destroyed according to the Secretary of State guidelines. So I just need your approval to go ahead and have them shredded.
I will entertain a motion to approve the list of records to be destroyed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, second by Alderman Lang. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Passes 5-0. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn the regular Board of Aldermen meeting.
So moved. Second.
Alderman Schultz. Made the motion and second by Alderman Lang. All in favor, say aye.
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 We're so adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great night.